There was a time when I believed happiness was a destination, a place where everything is perfect, where struggles cease to exist, and where joy flows endlessly. But life had different plans. Life does not hand us happiness on a silver platter. Instead, it wraps it in trials, pain, and sorrow, challenging us to uncover its true essence. Sorrow has a way of breaking us. Yet in that breaking, we find our true strength. When we experience pain, we come face to face with our deepest fears and vulnerabilities. But it is in these very moments of despair that we realize our inner power. Have you ever noticed how the most beautiful souls are the ones who have suffered the most? The people who radiate warmth, kindness, and gratitude are often the ones who have walked through fire. They have known what it feels like to be lost, and in that loss, they have found themselves. Happiness is not about a perfect life. It is about embracing life with all its imperfections. It is about waking up every morning despite the pain and choosing to smile. It is about learning to dance in the storm instead of waiting for it to pass. True happiness is not the absence of sorrow, but the courage to rise above it. It is not about avoiding pain, but about transforming it into something meaningful. It is the realization that every wound carries a lesson and every tear sheds the weight of the past. So if life ever brings you to your knees, do not think of it as a punishment. Think of it as an invitation to rise, to grow, and to discover a happiness that is unshaken by the storms of life. Because true happiness is not found in never falling. It is found in rising every single time we do. Pain is a force that reshapes, refines, and strengthens us in ways we never expect. It is an unavoidable part of life. Yet it carries within it the seeds of growth and transformation. While most of us instinctively resist pain, fearing its discomfort and uncertainty, it is often through our most challenging moments that we discover our true potential. Every hardship, every setback, and every disappointment plays a crucial role in molding us into stronger, wiser individuals. Without sorrow, happiness would lose its meaning, and without struggle, we would never recognize our own resilience. Pain pushes us beyond our limits, forcing us to confront the parts of ourselves that we often ignore. It strips away our illusions of control and exposes our deepest fears, vulnerabilities, and weaknesses. But in that exposure, we are given an opportunity, a chance to rebuild ourselves, to rise from the ashes of our suffering with a new sense of purpose and strength. People who have endured great hardships often emerge with a deeper understanding of life, a heightened sense of empathy, and an unshakable determination to keep moving forward. Growth is never a comfortable process. Imagine a seed buried deep within the soil, struggling to break through the earth's surface. It is surrounded by darkness, yet it keeps pushing upward, driven by an unseen force toward the light. The same principle applies to human beings. When we are faced with adversity, we are like that seed, buried, struggling, and uncertain. But if we choose to persevere, we will eventually break through, reaching new heights of self-awareness and wisdom. The pain we endure along the way is not meant to destroy us, but to prepare us for what lies ahead. The greatest lessons in life are often learned through hardship. When everything is going smoothly, we rarely take the time to reflect on our choices, our beliefs, or our strengths. It is only when we are tested, when life throws us into the fire of suffering, that we are forced to confront who we truly are. Pain teaches us patience by making us wait, resilience by making us endure, and gratitude by showing us what we once took for granted. It forces us to adapt, to change, and to grow in ways we never imagined. History is filled with examples of people who turned their pain into power. Many of the most inspiring individuals in the world, leaders, artists, writers, and thinkers, have experienced unimaginable hardships. Yet, instead of allowing their suffering to break them, they used it as fuel to push forward. They transformed their pain into something meaningful, something that not only changed their own lives, but also inspired others. Their struggles became stepping stones toward greatness, proving that adversity is not the end, but the beginning of something greater. One of the most powerful aspects of pain is that it deepens our understanding of others. When we suffer, we gain a newfound appreciation for the struggles of those around us. We become more compassionate, more empathetic, and more willing to extend a helping hand. Pain has a way of dissolving the walls we build around ourselves, allowing us to connect with others on a level that is raw, real, and deeply human. It reminds us that we are not alone in our struggles and that every person we meet is fighting their own silent battles. While pain is often viewed as an enemy, it is, in reality, one of life's greatest teachers. It forces us to question what truly matters. It teaches us the value of perseverance, the importance of hope, and the power of a positive mindset. It pushes us to evolve, to grow, and to become the person we were meant to be. Without sorrow, we would never truly appreciate the beauty of happiness. Without challenges, we would never recognize our strength. Pain is not a barrier. It is a bridge that leads us to a deeper, richer, and more meaningful life. Happiness is one of the most misunderstood concepts in the world. From a young age, we are conditioned to believe that happiness is tied to success, wealth, or the absence of struggle. We are taught to chase material possessions, external achievements, and societal validation, believing that once we attain them, we will finally be happy. But as we move through life, we begin to realize that this definition of happiness is an illusion. True happiness is not found in accumulating riches, achieving goals, or avoiding hardships. Instead, it is discovered in the ability to embrace life with all its imperfections, to find meaning in the struggles, and to cultivate inner peace despite external circumstances. Many people spend their lives in pursuit of things they believe will bring them happiness: money, status, power, relationships, only to find that these things provide temporary pleasure but not lasting fulfillment. A person may achieve financial success and still feel empty. Another may acquire fame and still battle loneliness. This is because external accomplishments do not address the deeper need for purpose, meaning, and inner contentment. Happiness is not about having a perfect life. It is about learning to find joy even in the midst of imperfection. Life is a series of highs and lows, victories and defeats, joys and sorrows. No one is exempt from struggle. Pain, loss, and disappointment are inevitable. But if happiness depended on a life free from hardship, no one would ever truly be happy. The key to lasting happiness is learning to navigate the ups and downs of life with an open heart and a resilient spirit. When we redefine happiness, we understand that it is not the absence of challenges, but the ability to find meaning in them. Every struggle we face carries a lesson, the hidden gift that shapes us into who we are meant to be. Hardships push us to grow, forcing us to develop strength, wisdom, and compassion. A person who has never faced difficulties may never fully appreciate the beauty of small victories. A person who has never known pain may never truly understand the depth of joy. It is through contrast that we gain perspective. The darkest nights make the stars shine brighter, and the most difficult moments make happiness all the more meaningful. When we redefine happiness, we stop seeking it in external things and start cultivating it from within. We begin to appreciate the simple moments: a conversation with a loved one, a sunrise, the feeling of laughter after a long day. Happiness is not something to be found in the distant future once all problems are solved. It is something to be experienced in the present moment, even amid struggles. It is the ability to wake up each morning with gratitude, knowing that even in difficult times, there is something to be thankful for. True happiness is not about controlling life so that nothing ever goes wrong. It is about developing the mindset to handle whatever comes our way. When we accept that struggles are part of life, we stop resisting them and start learning from them. We realize that even the most painful experiences have the power to transform us. Rather than asking, "Why is this happening to me?" we begin to ask, "What can I learn from this?" This shift in perspective turns challenges into opportunities for growth and hardships into stepping stones towards a deeper, more meaningful happiness. Many of the happiest people in the world are not those who have the most, but those who have learned to appreciate what they have. They have faced difficulties, yet they choose to find joy in the simple things. They understand that happiness is not about having a perfect life, but about embracing life in all its messiness. They do not seek a life without struggle. They seek the strength to endure, the wisdom to learn, and the courage to keep moving forward. Happiness is a choice, a way of looking at life. It is not about waiting for better days, but about making the best of today. It is about accepting that pain and joy coexist and that both have their place in our journey. It is in embracing life fully with all its ups and downs that we find the kind of happiness that cannot be shaken by circumstances. It is not found in escaping struggles, but in finding purpose within them. True happiness is not a destination, but a way of living, a mindset that allows us to find beauty even in the darkest moments and meaning in every step of the journey. There is a unique beauty in brokenness that many fail to see. In a world that glorifies perfection, strength, and unshaken confidence, brokenness is often seen as a flaw, something to be hidden or overcome as quickly as possible. But in reality, it is through our broken moments that we discover our truest selves. Just like a shattered mirror reflects light in countless directions, our pain, struggles, and setbacks allow us to shine in ways we never imagined. It is in those moments of despair, when everything seems to fall apart, that we are given the opportunity to rebuild ourselves in a way that is more powerful, more authentic, and more deeply connected to the essence of who we are. When something breaks, we often assume it has lost its value, but this belief is shaped by the fear of imperfection rather than the wisdom of transformation. In many cultures, broken objects are not discarded, but rather repaired in ways that make them even more beautiful than before. The Japanese art of kintsugi, for example, embraces the cracks of broken pottery by filling them with gold, highlighting the fractures instead of hiding them. This philosophy teaches us that our wounds and scars are not marks of weakness, but rather proof of survival, resilience, and growth. They are the evidence of a life fully lived, of battles fought, and of lessons learned. Life does not promise to be smooth or predictable. There will be times when we feel shattered, when the weight of our struggles seems unbearable, and when we question whether we can ever be whole again. But brokenness is not the end of the story. It is the beginning of something new. When we are broken, we are forced to look within ourselves, to confront our fears, our doubts, and our deepest vulnerabilities. And in that confrontation, we gain clarity. We realize that our worth is not defined by our wounds, but by our ability to rise despite them. Some of the most inspiring people in the world are those who have faced unimaginable hardships, yet have chosen to transform their pain into something meaningful. They have used their struggles to connect with others, to inspire change, and to build something greater than themselves. Their brokenness did not diminish them. It made them more compassionate, more understanding, and more determined. It gave them a sense of purpose that they might never have discovered otherwise. The truth is that no one goes through life unbroken. Every person we meet carries hidden wounds, silent battles, and stories of pain that have shaped them. But it is often in those broken places that the light enters. The cracks in our hearts allow us to feel more deeply, to love more fully, and to appreciate life in a way that only those who have experienced pain can truly understand. When we embrace our brokenness instead of hiding it, we give ourselves permission to heal, to grow, and to find strength in the very places we once thought were our greatest weaknesses. In our most broken moments, we have two choices. We can see ourselves as damaged and unworthy, or we can recognize that brokenness is an opportunity to rebuild, to reinvent, and to rediscover ourselves. The pieces of our shattered past do not have to remain scattered. They can be rearranged into something even more beautiful than before. Every scar tells a story of resilience. Every crack is a mark of survival. And every moment of brokenness is an invitation to rise, to shine, and to embrace the beauty that lies within the imperfections of our journey. There is no shame in being broken. The only tragedy is in believing that brokenness is the end rather than the beginning of something greater. When we stop seeing our struggles as signs of failure and start recognizing them as opportunities for transformation, we unlock a power within us that is stronger than anything we ever imagined. Our brokenness is not a weakness. It is a canvas upon which we can paint a new story, one of hope, courage, and unshakable strength. The beauty of brokenness is not in avoiding it, but in allowing it to shape us into something extraordinary. Life has a way of teaching us the most profound lessons in the moments we least expect. Often, these lessons do not come from ease, comfort, or success, but from the struggles, heartbreaks, and losses we endure. Pain is a harsh teacher, but it is also one of the most effective. Every wound we carry tells a story, not of weakness, but of survival. The scars we bear, whether physical or emotional, are reminders of battles fought and won, of resilience cultivated, and of the wisdom gained through hardship. It is through these very wounds that we learn, grow, and transform into stronger versions of ourselves. When life knocks us down, it is natural to feel broken, lost, or defeated. The pain of betrayal, failure, or loss can feel unbearable, making us question why we had to go through such suffering. In these moments, it is easy to believe that wounds only leave us damaged. But the truth is that pain has a purpose. It forces us to confront our deepest fears, to reflect on our choices, and to seek strength from within. Through struggle, we gain clarity. Through hardship, we develop resilience. And through suffering, we cultivate wisdom that we could not have gained any other way. The strongest people are not those who have never been hurt, but those who have turned their pain into power. They are the ones who refuse to let their wounds define them as victims and instead choose to rise above their suffering. They understand that every scar they carry is a symbol of perseverance, a testament to their ability to withstand life's storms. These scars do not represent brokenness, they represent healing. They show that despite the pain, they continue to move forward, refusing to be defeated by the hardships they faced. Pain has a way of changing us, shaping us into people we never thought we could become. It teaches us lessons that no book or classroom ever could. It teaches us patience when we are forced to wait, gratitude when we lose something we once took for granted, and empathy when we experience the very struggles we once failed to understand in others. It reminds us of what truly matters in life, stripping away superficial concerns and allowing us to focus on the things that bring real meaning and fulfillment. Some of the greatest leaders, artists, and visionaries in history have turned their wounds into wisdom. Many of them faced unbearable hardships, poverty, rejection, illness, or personal tragedy. Yet they refused to let their struggles define them. Instead, they used their pain as fuel, transforming their suffering into something greater than themselves. They wrote books, created music, built communities, and changed lives, not despite their wounds, but because of them. Their pain became their purpose, and their scars became the foundation of their strength. When we go through difficult times, it is tempting to bury our pain, to pretend it does not exist, or to numb ourselves to the emotions that come with it. But healing does not come from ignoring our wounds. It comes from facing them, understanding them, and learning from them. True wisdom is born from reflection, from allowing ourselves to process our experiences and extract meaning from them. It is in acknowledging our pain that we take the first step toward transformation. No one goes through life unscathed. Every person we meet carries hidden wounds, struggles they do not always speak about. But what sets people apart is how they choose to respond to those wounds. Some allow their pain to make them bitter, closing themselves off from the world. Others allow it to make them wiser, more compassionate, and more determined to live a life of purpose. The difference is not in the pain itself, but in the perspective we choose to adopt. There is power in embracing our scars, in wearing them not as marks of weakness, but as symbols of survival. They remind us of where we have been, of the challenges we have faced, and of the strength we found when we thought we had none left. They remind us that we have endured, that we have grown, and that we are still here, stronger than before. Life's toughest moments may leave wounds, but those wounds hold wisdom. They are proof that we have lived, that we have fought, and that we have overcome. They are not the end of our story. They are the foundation of a new beginning, one shaped by courage, resilience, and the knowledge that even in our darkest moments, we are capable of rising again. Life is full of moments that test our strength, challenge our patience, and push us beyond our limits. Along the way, we experience loss of people, opportunities, dreams, and sometimes even parts of ourselves. It is easy to fall into the trap of regret, dwelling on what could have been, what was lost, or what should have happened differently. Regret keeps us anchored in the past, making it impossible to move forward. But happiness does not come from looking back with sorrow. It comes from choosing gratitude for what remains and focusing on what can still be built. Gratitude is a powerful force that shifts our perspective. When we train our minds to appreciate what we still have, instead of mourning what we have lost, we unlock a sense of peace and contentment that regret can never provide. Regret steals our present moment, chaining us to something that cannot be changed. But gratitude frees us, allowing us to see the beauty in what is still here. It reminds us that even in loss, there is something to be thankful for. Whether it is the lessons learned, the memories shared, or the opportunities that still lie ahead. Loss is inevitable, but suffering over it is a choice. When we lose something or someone, we feel a void, an emptiness that threatens to consume us. But within that emptiness, there is also space. A space where something new can be built. Choosing gratitude does not mean ignoring pain or pretending loss did not happen. It means acknowledging what was lost while also recognizing what remains. It means shifting the focus from despair to hope, from scarcity to abundance. It is the realization that while one chapter may have ended, the story is not over. There are still unwritten pages waiting to be filled. People who choose gratitude over regret live lighter, freer lives. They refuse to let the past dictate their future. They do not allow mistakes, losses, or missed opportunities to define them. Instead, they focus on what they can do today to create a better tomorrow. They recognize that every ending holds the potential for a new beginning and that every setback carries within it the seeds of growth. While others drown in regret, they rise in gratitude, knowing that even the smallest blessings deserve to be cherished. Gratitude does not erase pain, but it gives it purpose. It allows us to reframe our experiences, seeing them not as punishments but as stepping stones. A person who loses a job can either drown in regret or be grateful for the chance to start anew. Someone who experiences heartbreak can either mourn endlessly or appreciate the lessons that love, even when lost, has taught them. Every situation offers a choice, one that determines whether we remain stuck in sorrow or move forward with hope. Even in the darkest moments, there is something to be grateful for. It may not always be obvious, and sometimes it takes effort to find it, but gratitude is like a light. It may start as a flicker, but the more we nurture it, the brighter it becomes. It transforms the way we see the world, helping us recognize that happiness is not found in perfection, but in appreciation. It teaches us that fulfillment does not come from having everything go our way, but from learning to cherish the things that do. Regret whispers of what is gone, but gratitude speaks of what remains. And when we choose gratitude, we open ourselves up to new possibilities, new joys, and new beginnings. We learn that happiness is not about holding on to the past, but about embracing the present and stepping into the future with hope. Life is constantly changing, and we cannot always control what happens, but we can always control how we respond. And in that choice lies the power to turn loss into learning, sorrow into strength, and regret into gratitude.